All right, hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We're starting off today with beautiful conditions outside, a lot of sunshine there. You see a mostly clear to partly cloudy sky overhead. Not too bad by any means, not seeing too much in the way of rain. That is for the I-35 corridor, but other parts of South Texas are seeing rain to start off their day, and that's really more towards the southern Edwards Plateau and off towards the hill country. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring up Facebook. I want to be sure I can answer some of y'all's questions that you may have for today. And, we'll talk a little bit about what the forecast is showing here, not just for us, but also for our neighbors to the east. We've got a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico, and it could intensify into a hurricane before making landfall closer towards our friends in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So starting off, let's start off with our weather. Again, mostly clear, partly cloudy sky, not too bad. Temperatures are going to rise into the lower 90s today. They're already a little bit on the warm side. 87 out towards the airport. 86 out towards northwest San Antonio. Seeing a lot of people say we need rain. Seeing some people say any storms. We're seeing a little bit of thunderstorm activity out there in the hill country and parts of the southern Edwards Plateau, but much of it is just heavy rain, and you're about to see that in a moment. Here's the allergy report for today, though. You notice everything at a medium level there for mold and fall elm, but ragweed and pigweed coming in at light, so you may deal with a little bit of allergens today since there's so much on the board. A little bit of lightning up there in northern Valverde County. That's about it. Let's take a closer look at some of the shower activity, mainly dipping on down towards the west-southwest. So not headed towards the I-35 corridor or San Antonio. This is moving away. Notice that we do have some heavy showers, though, associated with that, kind of just over Bracketville. Seeing that shower really kind of spike up there. A little bit of rain to help out the aquifer in that region. That's about it. Nothing severe, not expecting any big issues from that. Our friends who are watching from over into Del Rio, no big issues from this. You're going to get a little bit of rain. Just be careful on some of those slick roadways if you're going to be out there on the roads. Seeing if there's some people asking any rain coming. Kenneth says, where's the other weatherman? Kenneth, don't worry. Bill's off today. He's just taking it easy. You know, it's his weekend, so I'm giving the updates for today. Wider look at things shows that we're kind of the lucky ones in the Lone Star State today. Not a lot of people seeing rain. They've got some over towards Big Bend. They have it over towards the hill country into the southern Edwards Plateau, and that's about it. You see some showers even all the way up towards Brady, right there in the heart of Texas. And then you see over towards the Gulf of Mexico, a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity just offshore. And again, there's a tropical storm on the other side of the Gulf, closer on towards Florida. We're going to talk about that, but first an update on our forecast. Over the next 48 hours, a little bit of shower activity, a little bit west of I-35 there. 20% chance for rain today, by the way. And guys, that's mainly that 20% chance for San Antonio. Obviously a higher chance right now in Valverde County where they're already seeing rain. But not everyone will see rain today. That's what I'm trying to get at. Over towards the coastal bend, we'll also have a little bit of shower activity, or rather not just the coastal bend, but stretching into the coastal plains right here for parts of South Texas. We're talking about over towards Gonzales, Karn City, maybe even over towards Cuero. A little bit of shower activity here and there. Moving into tonight, our rain chances back off and our temperatures back off to the 70s. Then as we move throughout tomorrow, check this out. Showers and thunderstorms moving through the region. We've got about a 40% chance for rain for tomorrow, really into the latter part of the afternoon and into the evening. And then you notice for Tuesday, more showers and thunderstorms, another round where we have about a 40% chance for rain on Tuesday. So, something important to note there, a 40% chance. That means rain isn't guaranteed. You have a chance for rain, but again, some of that shower activity may miss you. How much rain are we expecting over the next week? We've actually got rain chances in each day over the next week, but not everyone's going to see a ton of rain each day. It's going to kind of be broken up into days here. Notice that parts of the hill country are going to see less than 1/4 of an inch, while much of the region will see less than 1/2 of an inch. But you see closer to Valverde County, maybe about 1/2 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. When you get into the coastal plains, kind of further on off into this direction, let me go ahead and draw it real quick for y'all. Into this direction, you know, we could see anywhere from 1/2 of an inch to maybe even up to 1.5 inches in some areas. So some spots are going to see a good amount of rain this next week. Other spots are going to kind of miss out on it here and there. Now, rain is still falling in the Edwards Aquifer recharge zone. This is great news. We need the rainfall to kind of help out the aquifer a bit. It is now at 663.8. Actually, the latest update that I just saw from the Edwards Aquifer, this graphic hasn't updated just yet, but we are now above 660 for the 10-day average. Now, stage 1 water restrictions are still in place. I think it needs to be a few days before they lift those. But we're above 660 now for the 10-day average. So the rain falling right now is just going to continue to help things with this aquifer. And let's hope we can move away from these stage 1 water restrictions as we make our way throughout the next week or two with this extra rainfall. So this is great news, guys. We needed this rainfall. We're finally getting it. And let's hope that those water restrictions can be lifted sometime over the next week or two. Again, though, they still continue. But the 10-day average has now moved above 660. And I think we're now at 664.5 or somewhere around there, the latest that I saw from the aquifer. So here's the tropics. There's a ton to talk about here, guys. Look at what we have over towards the other side of the Atlantic. A ton of stuff going on. I see Janice saying, do you just not like New Braunfels? Janice, no, we love New Braunfels. It's actually one of my favorite places to go here in South Texas. There's just not a lot going on there right now. You know, it's dry there, no rain there at the moment. You know, we're expecting temperatures in the 90s this afternoon and the next couple of days. But, you know, if I pop it back to radar, you'll notice that there's no rain up towards New Braunfels right now, so not a lot to talk about for our friends up there in the New Braunfels area. Let's see here if we have any other questions coming in. When there's rain, there's no work. When there is no work, there is no pay. Yeah, so Patsy, that's true. Sometimes the rain can be bad. Let's hope that, you know, we get rain in good amounts, as in, like, you know, not all at once or not all during the afternoon. You know, a little bit of rain here and there is a good thing. That helps out everybody. You get some rain here, get a little bit of drier weather here, good compromise. But let's hope we don't get all the rain all at once. That's not good stuff. My garden is still thriving. Great to hear. Some people depend on that rain to make a living. That is true, like the farmers. But I will say, I do know this. I used to work in Jonesboro, Arkansas, up in the delta of Arkansas. And the farmers always told me, I used to report on the farming conditions up there. They always said, you know, rain is great, but too much rain is a lot worse than not enough rain. So let's hope that we don't get too much rain. You know, good amount of rain's good, but too much rain can be a big issue for farmers because you can always add more water whenever you're pumping, but it's harder to take the water away when there's too much. So, yeah, let's hope we get rain in good amounts. Let's go ahead and dip into the tropics now, though. So here's what we got going on. Paulette, Renee, 20, and Sally. We got 4 storms out there that are either have names or at least could become a named storm. And then we have a few areas out there that have a chance for tropical development. One area, that area shaded in yellow south of the Cape Verde Islands, has a low chance for tropical development. Right around the Cape Verde Islands, we have a 70% chance for tropical development. So a high chance there, and I think that storm may become a tropical depression here over the next day or two. And then we look further on off towards the west. There's Renee, kind of falling apart. Paulette is holding on pretty strong. Right now it looks like we have hurricane warnings in place for Bermuda. You'll notice right here where St. George is, you know, it looks like we do have hurricane warnings in place for them as Paulette does get closer. Sally is over here in the eastern Gulf. I was talking about this earlier. There's also an area for low chance for tropical development in the western Gulf. Not really going to be an issue, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be able to form in time. But you'll notice that this system here, Sally, has led to a hurricane warning being put into place for the Louisiana, southeast Louisiana, including New Orleans, and Mississippi coastlines. We also have for Harrison and Hancock County, Mississippi, hurricane warnings. That eastern county that has the blue under it, that is Jackson County, which has a tropical storm warning that stretches all the way down towards St. Joe Island and on the Florida Panhandle, and then for Apalachicola east, that's going to be tropical storm watches and shaded in yellow. So, you know, they're expecting this system to head their way. We're going to talk more about Sally in a second, but first, here's Paulette. 80-mile-per-hour winds expected to become a Cat 2 hurricane as it brushes Bermuda and then moves off to sea. Not going to be an issue for the United States there. Tropical depression Rene, the system has weakened from being a tropical storm. It's expected to continue to fall apart as we head throughout the next few days here, and it will not impact the United States. No impact there. And then Sally, expected to become a Category 1, possibly even Category 2 hurricane at some point as it makes its way closer towards Triumph and Venice, Louisiana. That's the mouth of the Mississippi River, the little portion that kind of dips out right here of Louisiana. That's the mouth right there, where Triumph and Venice, Louisiana is. An area that does not do well with hurricanes. It's a great spot for fishing, but man, whenever you have a system come through, it's low-lying marshland and does not handle storms well. The system will then move over New Orleans, and this is a big note right here. It's going to be moving slow. Heavy rain is going to be an issue, and something that was an issue with Katrina, and I'm not saying this storm is going to be like Katrina. It's not going to be. But something that was an issue is that water came into Lake Pontchartrain like this. It pushed in from the storm surge, and that could lead to some water rising in the Lake Pontchartrain, and then they also could have some water rise up in the city just because of how heavy the rain is. Of course, they have the pumps in place, so let's hope our friends and family off towards New Orleans. I know that we do have a lot of people here who are transplants of Southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi from Katrina. But again, I don't expect this to be like Katrina. I just want to hammer that home. But, you know, they could have some issues with some flooding in the city is what I'm trying to get at, but not to that extent. So we're going to continue to watch this, and, you know, it's going to be something we'll continue to keep you updated on for anybody who has family and friends off in that direction. You know, still a lot to develop with this storm. It still has a long way to go and a lot to watch out for. But look at how slow it moves. Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning, it's kind of still hanging out in the same area. It's going to kind of hang out for about 24 hours. And before we go further into talk about Tropical Depression 20, I actually want to show the amount of rainfall they're expecting over there over the next 7 days from this system. So depending on how far west the system goes will depend on how far west this area of 5 to 10 inches of rain goes. Right now, we could see 10 inches of rain on the Mississippi coastline. That's stretching over closer to New Orleans. And you see this, this sharp cutoff from anywhere from 1/2 inch to 10 inches of rain, stretching from the Atchafalaya Basin all the way towards Lake Bourne there. That's what this lake is, kind of right at the mouth of Lake Pontchartrain, right at the end of the tip of the arrow there. That's Lake Bourne. But, you know, the distance on that from anyone who could see 1/2 inch to 10 inches is 120 miles. So again, if that's just further west, we could see a lot more rain falling over New Orleans, but still a little bit too early, and we'll figure it out and be able to keep you updated as time goes on. So that's everything. We have an update on Sally. Again, not expected to impact Texas, but I wanted to give an update because a lot of us do have family and friends out there towards southeast Louisiana, rather, and then into parts of southern Mississippi. So here's Tropical Depression 20 out there in the Atlantic, still expected to strengthen, become a Category 1 to Category 2 hurricane, and this would earn the name Teddy. That would be the next name on the list. We're running out of names, and of course, if we run out of names, we move into the Greek alphabet, alpha, beta, and so on and so forth. So, you know, that's only happened once before. It was in 2005 when we had that many storms, and I think we'll likely see that happen again this year. We have now passed the climatological peak of hurricane season, which is September 10th, but we're still within that time frame of where the activity is heightened. So that's everything on the tropics. There's a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump back over to our forecast. Here's our 7-day forecast. 20% chance for rain for today. Notice as we head from Monday through Friday, anywhere from a 30 to 40% chance for showers and storms. And remember, a 30 to 40% chance isn't the highest chance, but it lets you know that you do have a better chance of seeing rain those days than, let's say, a 10 to 20% chance. So don't be surprised if you see some shower activity here these next few days. Temperatures rising to the upper 80s to lower 90s each day. Not too bad. Lows will be in the 70s. You know, that's right around average this time of year. I want you to look at the top right corner of the screen. Lows in the 70s, highs in the lower 90s. Not too bad. That's where we should be. We're anywhere at average to right below average. But the big question is it going to stay like that from day 8 through day 14, beyond the 7-day forecast? Well, first of all, it looks like we're going to deal with some just below average rainfall. So not as much rain as what we see this next week. We could see a little bit less as we head from day 8 through day 14, just beyond the 7-day forecast. And it looks like these temperatures that are lingering right around average, they're in the lower 90s to upper 80s, that's going to continue. You know, we're going to have just around average temperatures, so just around 90 degrees, upper 80s, not too bad. Happy to get those triple-digit heat indices out of here, so maybe a little bit cooler, or at least more comfortable here, just like what we're seeing today over the next couple of weeks. Your Lone Star 3-day forecast shows that that's going to be similar for the next 3 days across much of the state. Not a lot of rain for our neighbors other than in Houston and Corpus Christi. Everyone else staying fairly dry with just a partly cloudy sky pretty much each day. And even though you don't see a rain icon on there, it doesn't mean rain chances are at 0. It just means it could be closer towards a 20% chance maybe for rain in that area. Your Texas State Park forecast, and remember, this is for tomorrow, this is not for today, showing pretty good conditions there, great weather to go take a hike and go explore. Of course, if you follow me on my Facebook page, and this is, of course, the Kent's 5 Facebook page, be sure to follow Meteorologist Andrew Wilson, and also follow Andrew Wilson WX for weather, on Twitter. And you'll see a lot of photos and videos that I post of any of the state parks or national parks that I travel to. I just got back from vacation myself, posting a lot of videos from when I was in Colorado and even some of the Texas state parks that I visited, like Caprock Canyons. I'm a big fan of state parks. If you've got some favorites out there, go ahead and comment them down in my Facebook. I'd love to check them out myself. I'm a big fan of state parks and a big supporter of them as well. So guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, we do have a little bit of rain out there. That is going to be occurring mainly over towards the hill country and into the southern Edwards Plateau today. So much of the rain going to stay west of San Antonio, but a brief shower is still possible for our area. It's just not as likely. Better chances for rain for the I-35 corridor tomorrow and Tuesday. Have a wonderful day. Get out and enjoy the slightly cooler weather. And, you know, just have a wonderful rest of your weekend as we get ready for the work week ahead. Y'all have a great one.